Hello again. So today I would like to do a video, something that's more creative in the sense. Yeah, we're given a limited of things that we can do with this screen, but if we're creative, we can do a lot. I just want to show one creative aspect of it. So also do keep in mind, these are like tutorials I have yet to show on the Arduino aspect. So these are pretty much on the Nextion screen itself. So whatever I show on the programming here is pretty much what it is. I have yet to use an Arduino yet, or a microcontroller, or whichever your microcontroller choice is. Yeah, also do keep in mind, if you are keeping up with me, you might want to record these videos, or make sure you learn a lot from them, as much as you can from them, because sometime in the near future I'm going to end up deleting them. For the fact that is, I'm not associated with Nextion, for one. Two, I'm not getting paid for this, so this is pretty much my hobby that I'm sharing with everyone on the programming itself. So I hope you learn from these videos. So all in all, let's see what we can do here. Let's get to the example here. That's the living room. So the one I want to do is like a sliding screen. There. And it just automatically goes into my lock screen, in other words. Living room. And if you touch this, even if it does the countdown, if you notice here's the countdown here, it'll automatically do the same thing. But this countdown here is a little bit different. I'll probably show a future video on this one. It does the same thing, but the programming is different. So let's look into that. Today I'm just going to show the simpler one. But so if you look on my far right of my screen, I have living room, which I'm showing you here, and then LR to home. It's the living room to home, to the home screen itself. So for this one, you have to create a separate page. For this example, you have to create a separate page in it itself. So looking down here, let me see, make sure on this one. Yes. So you need to create a timer. Okay. So for the timer itself, if you look down here, for this one, we're looking at, I set it up for every, oh, is that right? No, that's wrong. No, okay, I'm sorry. So for this example, I just have it as a push button. It's just a push button. If I push the button itself, then it just goes to the page to LR to home. Okay, so if you push this button, it'll just go to this next page here. And here's the interesting part of this page. So if you notice on the far left on your toolbox itself, you have all these little icons here. What I actually used was the progress bar. Okay, so let's bring it up here. That's what this is. It's a progress one. But the thing is, if you look here, I have all these extra things like the clock, humidity readings, and lux reading, and so forth, and the timer itself. And it says living room on here. If you look on this other page, it's a blank screen. So it's pretty much of a teardown. It's just a picture itself. It's just a picture. So on another video, I'll show you another way of doing this, like a pop-up window. In other words, you can actually do pop-up windows. So I'll show you. I'll probably do another 2 more videos before I end it all. So what I did was, you can actually enlarge it. enlarge itself. So let me give an example here. A smaller example so I don't mess up my screen. So we need this piece of the puzzle. This is one picture. This is another picture. Okay. So let me give an example. If you go to the far right to the attribute, it says value equals 50. So this piece here is 50% of this whole piece. If you put it all green, it's 100%. So what we want is, what I did was, this is my home screen. This is my original background screen. That's my original background screen. So let me see here. So if I clicked onto here, it says background color. But we want to change. We don't want it as color. We want it as an image. So we're going to change it. So here it says background image. Here's foreground image. So let me make sure the background one. Okay, the background one is the living room. So just like adding a picture, double click it. The living room. Let's see here. So I'll add the living room plus picture. The picture's too big. Well, let's do this. Let's make it all the whole screen. Well, it looks like it might give me issues. Yeah, okay, let's do the whole screen. So this square here is the full screen, the background. So if I do this out, let me see, 0, let me make sure. 50, let's keep it at 50. Let's see, and then the foreground, let's do the foreground. Was my home. Yeah, I was right. So the background one is the original screen, what you want, and the foreground one is the one that's going to go left, from left to right. On this, you can do right to left, but it's a little bit more complicated. Not just that, it's not very clean in the sense that you can actually see the computer, the screen itself lay down the screens themselves and then go backwards. So it really doesn't make it clean, and it's not very interesting. You can actually do a bottom to top. It says on here, if you look on the far right, it says you can actually do a vertical. So it goes from bottom to top, and you can also reverse everything and do it from top to bottom, but it's not very clean, as I did say, in the sense that it lays down the images before it does the closing of the other image. So let's look into the programming itself. Let me delete this one. So of course you're going to need a timer. No, you don't need a timer. This one, okay. So you're going to need a timer. So if you push the button from the living room, okay, you push the button, it's going to go to the page LR2 home, which for me is this one. And let me put a 50% value. 50% value. There it is. Okay. So here's my example here. That's my background. This is my foreground. So we need a timer. We need a timer for it to go from left to right at a certain speed. Okay. So if you look on the far right on the attribute, I have the timer as 50 milliseconds. That's as fast as it can go. If you look, when you click it, it says set time in milliseconds, 50 to 65,535. So the lowest or the fastest, which is actually 50 milliseconds. So, so it's going to go over here. You need a timer. So, let me see, J0. Okay, so this part of the first part here is J0.value is equal to J0.value plus 5. It's going to go plus 5 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and so forth. J0 is the progress bar, my progress bar. And it says here, if J0 dot value is equal to 100. Now do keep in mind, if you put like an odd number, like 7s, it's never going to reach to that 100 mark. It's going to be above 100. So you need like greater than or equal to a certain number. It'll just go into a continuous loop. So if the J0 value is equal to 100, then you say, okay, then turn off the timer. Timer dot enable is equal to 0. You're going to turn off the timer, and the J0 value dot value is equal to 0. In other words, you're setting this, once it reaches all the way over here, you want it to go back to 0, all the way to the left. Start all over again. And then it's going to go to my page home. In other words, it starts all over, it goes into my lock screen mode. It's that simple. So this was just a way of looking at how we can do a pop-up slide screen over with a progress bar. In other words, it's just a creative way of doing something else, in other words. So this is, you can do progress bars this way too. This is how progress bars are done, you know. But this is just a little bit more creative way of like the screen sliding over. So I hope you find this interesting, and let's see here. Let's set everything back to 0 and useful. So I hope you like my videos, and we'll probably see you again. Let's see what happens. Hopefully I don't end it all here, and I hope you guys learn a lot from my videos here. You have a good day. Bye bye.